Richard Landry dreamt of being on Moonshiners. Get to know the award-winning distiller. When it comes to questionable alcoholic drinks, moonshine tops the list. This high-proof liquor isn't exactly above board and derives its name from distillers producing it at night in order to avoid detection. Its production might be dicey, but the industry is reportedly compelling enough for it to earn its own reality TV series on the Discovery Channel. Enter Moonshiners, a long-running docudrama that chronicles the illegal industry of moonshine. The show goes into great detail about moonshine production and the great lengths that distillers go to in order to evade the law. The series' credibility has been called into question multiple times, but the show has lasted for over 12 seasons and is still ongoing. When a show runs for that long, there are bound to be spin-offs with more distillers coming out of the woodwork to be a part of the action. One such distiller is Richard Landry, who has had great success. Richard Landry is a professional truck driver based in Louisiana. According to a profile piece on NOAA Online, he got into the moonshine business after being inspired by Moonshiners itself. While watching the first season when it premiered in December 2011, he became enamored by the process of producing this drink and decided to try it for himself. It wasn't just something I jumped into on a whim. I researched the process to understand the science behind it, he told NOAA Online. After some trial and error, he grew to love the process. From then on, he became a known distiller, selling intensely flavored liquors. Eventually, he got the chance to show his stuff within the world of Moonshiners. He was featured in the second season of a competitive spin-off called Moonshiners, Master Distiller. He was even crowned Master Distiller, winning over the judges with his unique Louisiana cherry rum concoction. The judges dubbed him the Spice King. His success didn't stop there, however. Starting from season 11, Richard became a series regular on the original Moonshiners, producing new and unique liquors and sharing his secret with fellow distillers in the industry. While on the show, Richard has produced liquors made from sweet potatoes, cotton candy, and has even concocted Bloody Mary moonshine and a sea-aged Manglia tea whiskey. Richard also competed in Moonshiners, Master Distiller Tournament of Champions. Richard also makes appearances in Season 12, giving advice to other distillers while continuing to hone his own craft. As he once stated in his Master Distiller interview, Richard wants to share both his liquor and his own skills with other prospects in the field. My mission is to teach the next generation to pass this art form on, he declared. Winning Master Distiller is just affirmation that I'm teaching them the correct things. Catch new episodes of Moonshiners every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Discovery Channel. Richard Landry dreamt of being on Moonshiners. Get to know the award-winning distiller. When Richard Landry was growing up, the world of spirits was as intriguing as it was distant. A quiet kid with a curiosity for how things worked, Landry's mind often wandered to the art of distilling, even if the notion was more fantasy than reality. But years later, his dream of joining the world of Moonshiners and being a part of the small but passionate community of distillers would become more than just a dream. Landry would eventually become a recognized figure in the craft, not only appearing on the popular TV show Moonshiners, but also earning accolades for his work behind the still. The journey of how Richard Landry transformed from a dreamer into an award-winning distiller and eventually found his way onto the hit reality show is as rich and layered as the whiskey he's known for producing. Early years. A dream in the making. Growing up in Louisiana, Landry was surrounded by culture, craftsmanship, and a spirit of hard work that would later shape his future. I always had a love for the history of alcohol, says Landry, reflecting on his childhood. It wasn't just the drinking part that caught my interest. It was the way people made it. The craft behind it, the tradition, the stories passed down. From an early age, Landry was intrigued by the legends of Moonshiners, those rogue distillers who created their own paths outside the law, turning raw materials into something valuable and desirable. While Louisiana is known for its iconic cocktails, such as the Sazerac, and its abundance of spirits, like rum, Landry's focus was different. He dreamed of making his own mark in the world of distilled spirits, with a particular passion for whiskey. But before he could get to work perfecting his craft, Landry had to figure out how to start. "I didn't come from a family of distillers, and I didn't have anyone to teach me the ropes," he explains. "I started doing my own research, reading books, watching videos, and just have much access to the high-end equipment used by distillers." But he didn't let that stop him. Using makeshift tools and materials, he got to work, learning the art of fermentation and distillation through the slow, steady process of self-teaching. "I made a lot of bad batches," he admits with a laugh. "But each failure taught me something new. It was all about understanding the process and learning from mistakes." The turning point. From backyard dreams to professional distilling eventually, Landry's skill improved, and what had started as a hobby in his backyard began to gain attention. His passion for distilling drew him into a tight-knit community of craft distillers who shared the same drive and desire to perfect their craft. "I started meeting other distillers, some of whom had been at it for decades," Landry recalls. "These guys taught me the old-school methods, the techniques that had been passed down over generations." As his craft became more refined, Landry took the bold step of turning his passion into a profession. He opened his own distillery, focusing on producing small-batch whiskey that celebrated traditional methods while incorporating his own personal touch. His products quickly gained traction, with people praising the flavor and the care he put into every bottle. The distillery, Landry's Legacy Distillery, was born. "We didn't want to just make whiskey," says Landry. "We wanted to create a product that told a story, that was about more than just the taste. It's about the process, the history, and the people behind it." Landry's whiskey became a hit, and his reputation as a master distiller began to spread. He didn't just create spirits, he created experiences, whiskey that was meant to be savored, not just consumed. It wasn't long before Landry's dream of being involved in the world of moonshine would take an unexpected turn. The Moonshiners TV show, a dream come true while Landry was busy building his reputation as a distiller. Moonshiners, the popular reality TV series that chronicles the lives of traditional moonshiners, was gaining a massive following. The show's portrayal of the craft and culture of distilling had captured the attention of audiences around the country, and it quickly became one of Discovery Channel's signature hits. For Landry, Moonshiners was more than just a TV show. It was a window into the world he had long admired. "I always watched the show and thought to myself, that's exactly where I want to be. That's my community," Landry says. "But it felt like something that was so far out of reach. I mean, I was just a guy from Louisiana trying to make whiskey in my backyard." As luck would have it, Landry's skill and experience had not gone unnoticed. After a few years of building his brand and gaining recognition for his exceptional whiskey, the producers of Moonshiners reached out to him. They had been following his progress and wanted him to join the show as a guest distiller. "I was shocked," Landry admits. "I never thought I would actually get the opportunity. It was one of those moments where your dream comes true, and you almost don't believe it." Landry's appearance on Moonshiners was an instant success. He brought a fresh perspective to the show, combining his deep knowledge of traditional distilling with a modern understanding of craftsmanship and quality. His time on the show allowed viewers to see a different side of the moonshining world, a side that was less about the law-breaking and more about the artistry of the craft. As his time on the show continued, Landry's reputation continued to soar. The exposure he received through Moonshiners gave his distillery an even bigger platform, attracting whiskey enthusiasts and curious fans alike. "I think people were really drawn to my story," says Landry. "They could see that I wasn't just a moonshiner or a distiller. I was someone who had worked hard to get to where I was. It was a real honor to share my journey with everyone." The legacy. Award-winning distiller. In addition to his growing popularity on TV, Richard Landry's distillery began earning recognition in the spirits industry. He won several awards for his whiskey, and the distillery became a fixture in the Louisiana craft distilling scene. Landry's products were praised for their exceptional quality and the authentic approach he took to the distilling process. But what truly set Landry apart from others in the industry was his dedication to sustainable practices. "Sustainability has always been a priority for me," he explains. "I think we have a responsibility to make sure we're not just making great products, but also doing it in a way that's good for the environment and the community." Landry's distillery used locally sourced ingredients, including grains from Louisiana farms, and focused on reducing waste in the distillation process. In a world where mass production is the norm, Landry's commitment to the land and the people around him made him a standout figure in the world.